Hello, so today I'm going to be giving you my 2018 BookTubeAthon TBR list. So I know that the BookTubeAthon has actually started today, so I'm a little bit late in kind of creating and showing my list, but I wanted to go ahead and upload it anyway, so that way those of you who are watching can kind of see what books I'm reading, and if there are any that interest you, you can find out like what my thoughts are on them afterwards. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first challenge is to let your first book be determined by a coin toss. So I have a coin with me. I have a quarter, okay? And the two books that I'm going to be choosing from is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which I've actually read before and really liked, but I don't remember a lot of the details, so that's why I wanted to reread it. And then the second book is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, and I love how this has this textured, really almost looks like water on the book cover. And I don't really know anything about this, although I believe it is a suspense / thriller book, which is also a little bit not something, which is something I don't normally read. So we'll see what happens. This one is going to be heads. This one is going to be tails. I have the coin. Hopefully I won't drop the coin. Here we go. All right, I have it. And let's see what we have. So it is, I think that's tails. All right, so tails. So this is going to be The Night Circus is the book that I will be reading, okay? And The Woman in Cabin 10, I'll have to wait and use this book for a different readathon in the future. All right, so the next book challenge that I'm going to be doing, or the second book challenge, is to read a book that is about something you want to do. And so the book that I'm choosing for this is Boys on a Boat, and this is by Daniel James Brown. Basically, I think this is a story about the American, like men's American crew team, and their kind of journey to getting to the Olympics, the 1936 Berlin Olympics, and trying to win gold. So I was actually a rower on my high school crew team a way long time ago, and one of the things that I first thought was like maybe I could go to the Olympics for this, because I knew that there were people who were like a little bit older, and by a little bit older I mean like not in their like early teens, like gymnasts, but I knew that there were athletes that were a little bit older and more established, who were on the national rowing team. And so because of that, I thought like maybe this is something that I could do, because I was obviously already a teen, just kind of getting into rowing. Knew I wouldn't be able to like be a teenager in a sport, but maybe I could get into the Olympics when I was older. Clearly that didn't happen because I realized that I was too short to actually be a rower. Everybody else was like significantly taller than me. And if you've ever rowed or kind of seen boats, when you carry the boat down to the water with part of your team, you carry it on your shoulder. But because I'm significantly shorter than many other rowers, I would have to carry it up here, and everybody else would be on their shoulder. So needless to say, the Olympics and the Olympic rowing is not for me and not within like my future. However, I do want to get back into rowing just for fun. Because I live in Boston, we have the head of the Charles Regatta, and a lot of rowing teams that row on the Charles River. And so I see that, and it's something that eventually I would just like to get into as kind of a recreational thing. So this is the book. The next book challenge is to read a book to movie adaptation, and I don't have the book with me because I will have to check it out from the library. But the book that I want to read is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. And the reason why I wanted to choose this one is because I know that there's a recent movie adaptation about A Wrinkle in Time that is probably going to be on streaming or on like Redbox, or basically a place where I can access it fairly easily. So I'm hoping to read that book. I just have to check it out from the library. I read it a long time ago when I was a kid. I do remember liking it, and I kind of remember, I think that's where I first kind of heard about the concept of the fourth dimension of time, and so I'm interested in reading it again and seeing if I still like it. I know from what I've read in like Facebook groups that the book and the movie are significantly different from each other. So I'm interested to see also how the movie kind of adapts the book characters. All right, the next challenge is to read a book that has green on the cover. And originally I wanted to read the book Meddling Kids. I'll put the author down here at the bottom because I don't remember right off the top of my head. I don't have the book with me because it's a book that I wasn't quite sure if I would like and want to keep. I tried to reserve it and check it out from the library. I've reserved the physical copy, the ebook, and the audiobook copy, but I am on hold. I'm like a third person in line for each of those versions of the book. And I don't think I'll get it until the end of August, by the time the booktube is over, BookTubeAthon is over. So the book I'm going to read in its place, if I don't get it, which I don't think I will, is this book here, and it's called Tending to the Past by Jim McGinnis. And this is actually a book that is written by my high school history teacher, like American history teacher. And it actually is about an American high school history teacher who's kind of reaching the end of his career and kind of almost at a point of retirement, and he's kind of struggling with the changes in the educational system. And it's kind of his reflections on this. So while it's not like autobiographical, I think it does reflect some of the kind of thoughts and emotions that the author, that my history teacher might have had as he's going through something similar. So I'm interested in kind of getting through this book since I'm not going to be able to read the other book because I don't have it. The next book challenge is to read a book wearing the same hat, and you're wearing the hat anytime you're reading the book all the way through to completion. So the book I'm going to be reading is Pacifica by Kristen Simmons. Sorry about the angle, I just want to make sure that the cover doesn't create a whole lot of glare. So this book is about, basically there's, I think this is kind of like a future world where it kind of sounds like the ice caps might have melted because it says the melt, and melt is in capital letters. And the government officials who are part of the haves have like created this lottery where a certain number of winners will get to go to the special island that's supposedly being advertised as like paradise. And their main character is like wondering where this island is, or actually what's really on this island, or what's really going to happen to these people, because she's grown up on the seas, and she's like, there is no island that exists like this. So she's wondering what's actually going to happen. So this was kind of interesting to me, and I did read kind of, I think, the very beginning of this, like where it talks about the author's note, and I think if I remember correctly, because I read this I think like a month ago, the author's note, that this book was kind of based off of the Japanese American internment camps and kind of what happened with them. So knowing that, I'm intrigued as to what this the storyline will actually kind of talk about and the issues it'll discuss. So that's the book. Oh, and because I have to be wearing a hat anytime I wear it, so I really struggled with this one because I have a couple of visors. I have a big floppy sun hat, which is really unrealistic for me to wear, and then I have a hat I wear for running, which is going to be sweaty, and I don't want to wear that. So I decided to wear this baseball hat. It's a tone it up, kind of like a suede feeling type material. And I'll be wearing this one as I read Pacifica. The next book challenge is to read a book with a beautiful spine. And so for all of these BookTubeAthon challenges, I really tried to pull books from my own collection that I haven't read, because actually most of the books I own I haven't read. So the book that I chose for this one is the, is it the Diviners? Diviners? I don't actually know how you say this, the Diviners. Anyway, so the reason why I chose this is because out of all my books, I really like, let's try right side up. I really like the cover of the spine. I like that there's the eye that's shown on the cover of the book is kind of replicated here. And then even if you take off the dust jacket, I thought that the spine was pretty cool. because you just have those lines kind of mirrored. And I really like the lettering of this book. So this book is about, it says, do you believe there are ghosts and demons and diviners among us? So basically, this takes place in 1926, and the character worries that someone's going to discover that she has a supernatural power, and so far this power has only brought her trouble, and basically I think she probably comes into her own or kind of discovers how to use her powers in a way that's more positive. I actually don't know a whole lot about this book. I have heard good things about this book. It is quite a thick book, as you can see. I think it's definitely the biggest one I'm reading. It is 578 pages, so I'm excited to read this. I'm hoping I can get through it. I have no idea if I'll actually be able to get through it by the end of the week, but I will definitely try. Okay, and we are at the last challenge, challenge number 7, which is to read 7 books. So in order to reach the 7th book, I decided to read Starry Eyes, this by Jen Bennett. And this is actually a book, whoops, there we go. This is actually a book that I had kind of wanted to read because it's part of a book club read from a couple months ago, but I wasn't able to at the time. I still have the book checked out from the library, so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a go. I've heard this is, I think, more of a contemporary YA novel, and it's not something that I would traditionally choose to read, but I wanted to read it because I know it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, which is usually like fantasy and sci-fi. So I thought I'd give this one a read, and we'll see how it goes. So that's it for my TBR list. Realistically, do I think I'm going to be able to read all of these books? I don't think so, especially since I know that some of these books have quite a few pages. I do consider myself a decently fast reader, but I also know that I have quite a busy week as well, so we'll see. I think I might try to do like short, I don't know if I'll do short vlog updates or maybe just kind of one vlog, quick vlog at the end with little updates on how I was doing throughout the week. So I think I might try and do that. And then I might also try and do some of the BookTubeAthon video challenges as well, depending on if I have the time. At the end, I'll do a wrap up of what I actually was able to read, so that way you can see how far I got. All right, thanks so much for watching, and please leave any questions, comments you have below. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos, as well as if you're also interested in any planner related videos, I have those on my channel as well. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.